Hello everyone, and Happy New Year to you all. This is the first of a few special podcasts, which is just highlighting the best of the Patreon episodes that we do. They've been up for around about a year or so this is just some edited highlights to go out for general release, really. If you'd like to join us over there, it's patreon.com/Simon and Ross, and you get extra episodes and all sorts of stuff and episodes early. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. There'll be a few of these before we come back for our 100th episode. Ooh! Bye!
I was thinking, what can we give the patrons that's perhaps slightly different? Because obviously the format for the last few has been very much the same, hasn't it? We've been getting a lot of guests on and asking them what the top 5 films are, and obviously we've done our top films for one another. We can't cram in a Lord of the Rings series into a 1-hour Patreon special.
Well, I'm sure we'd have tried at first, but
I don't care how big you think the One Ring is. It's not going in.
No matter how much you lube it up. But yeah, how are you getting on with? Have you gone through? Did you go through and watch the Lord of the Rings, by the way?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And you know what? I enjoyed it just as much as I always have. It was actually part of a. So my sister got Fatima and I a present for Christmas, and it's like a big film poster, and it's 100 films to sort of watch before you kick the bucket type thing. And it's essentially a giant scratch card, so there's 100 films, and each film has a corresponding thing that you scratch off, and it's a perfect excuse for me to actually get Fatima to watch loads of films that she would otherwise refuse to watch. So I've been looking, I'm thinking, sweet, Godfather's on there, that's 1, 2 and 3, nice. Scarface, sweet. All these things where she would never watch, but she's now got to. If you want Fatima to do something, it has to come from a family member or a friend in present form.
Yeah.
And then she'll do it.
Ideally from someone like Mankind or something.
Yeah. So we've started scratching those off. What have we watched so far? I think the first one we watched was actually Shaun of the Dead.
All right, yeah.
And it's been a while since I've seen that, so I enjoyed watching that again. And I just couldn't believe how familiar the cast was. Yeah. And especially when I saw Rafe Spall. Yeah. I was like, fucking how old's he? They're about 10.
Yeah. And about 20 stone as well.
Yeah. It was really weird, yeah. And then I forgot, because obviously it was one of your top, was it your number one in your Halloween?
Yeah, I think it was actually, yeah.
So, and I'd sort of wiped from memory a lot of the bits and pieces you were talking about when you said the cast.
Yeah.
And you were like, and you'd said, Matt Lucas.
Yeah.
Dylan Moran, Bill Nye, Rafe Spall, and a few of the others that I can't remember. But and now I'd forgotten actually when I went back and watched it. I was like, fucking hell, this is like a who's who of British
absolutely
comedy and actors, So I really enjoyed watching that.
And the thing is as well, now, if you look at some of the people who've got incredibly small parts, I mean, like Martin Freeman hasn't even got a speaking role. He literally goes,
Yeah.
You're just like,
that's where they sort of cut across each other, don't they? And each one meets their equivalent in the group. Yeah, that was good. And I just think I just love seeing, like, I mean, British film for me will always have, I'll gravitate towards something if I know it's British.
Yeah.
Just because of the familiarity with it. So like when he's leaving his house in the morning and because it's so close to the bone, like there's certain thing, I'm watching it and I'm getting feelings from it that I don't think I would get from like an American film. So
no.
For example, when he falls asleep on his chair and he's written a note on his, writes a note that sticks it on the fridge that says like, sort your life out.
Yeah.
Make up with so-and-so, bring you home, whatever. And obviously he falls asleep pissed and wakes up on this chair in the kitchen, sees the note, and how he gets up and just walks out the door and goes to get like a can of Coke and a cornetto.
Yeah.
And just when he got up from the chair and walked straight out, I could feel like how he must have felt it, like tired, hungover, rough, walking around to the shop with your shirt hanging out, like and I really felt like he would have felt in that.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I feel that way is because the streets look familiar.
Yeah.
The corner shop looks familiar. The kitchen, the fridge, the chair, everything is just like, I've seen all this. I've lived all of this. I've been down to stay with mates at university and done that, falling asleep wherever you finish up. And then you wake up and you fucking just go to the corner shop. You're still fully dressed. And
I've done that at your house.
I found you curled up asleep outside my bedroom door, and I don't even think that we hung out that night.
Just passing, like
just a sleeping Simon outside. But so that was a good one. Really enjoyed that.
Right, I was going to say as well, I've got this ready. Where a few years ago, it would be July 2011, 10 years ago. Me and Stuart went to see Take That at Wembley Stadium.
Right.
And we stayed with Scott and Alice, one of our friends. And it was just round the corner from where they filmed Shaun of the Dead.
It's all invisible, Simon.
Hey, where have I gone? Here I am.
Simon's just discovered Zoom filters, and it's fucking with anything he holds up in front of the screen. I'm glad because he hasn't been wearing any underpants for the last 30 minutes. Can't see it. Turn the filter off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Have a look
yeah. Oh, that's the shop. Yeah,
that's the shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a can of Coke in my hand. Didn't buy anything.
Did you not get? It's how he opens it and he sort of looks at a few cans.
Yeah.
When you're going for a can, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You've already made that decision. It's Sprite.
Well, I think it's because he grabs the Diet Coke at first, doesn't he? And then he decides not and gets the full fat Coke.
Yeah. So that was good.
That book's up here because I wanted to show you that when we did the Halloween thing.
I think you did.
Oh, did I?
You've shown me that picture before, yeah, of you in that shop, yeah. It wasn't as relevant then because it had been years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's...
Oh, it wasn't relevant because I was talking about it. Now you're talking about it. It's relevant.
No, because you were talking about a shop and I couldn't remember it, so you just showed me a picture of you in a shop. It's like, but now I remember what the shop looks like.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, it's exactly like the one you showed me.
Yeah.
So your story stands up.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, we've so we watched that, and then the way we're doing it, we've got a system. So I said to Fatima, well, this is good because you can pick a film, and then the following time I'll pick.
As long as it's on the list.
Yeah, as long as it's on that sheet, and then at the end of it we scratch it off. Together. It's very romantic. And but then obviously it's like Fatima's like, yeah, but you're obviously going to pick something that I don't want to watch. I was like, yeah, but that works both ways. Like, you might pick something because like Mean Girls is on there and I know you're going to pick it. So instead we've got a system now where Fatima will give me a choice of 3.
Right.
And I will pick one of those 3, and then the following time I'll give her a choice of 3, and that way at least you can get, at least that way I can slowly narrow her down to The Godfather. But the other night she gave me the 3 that she gave me to choose from was Spirited Away, which is fantastic.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Really good. Big Studio Ghibli fan. The second one she gave me, I think, was Up. Right. Okay. Which is another good one.
Yeah.
Both cartoons, you'll know. Because she's got the film taste of a 10-year-old, but at least the good cartoons. And the last one, which is the one that I settled on, was Dirty Dancing. Honestly, if you said to me, Ross, we're going to watch Dirty Dancing, I'm going to say, oh, I can't wait.
You see, in a former life, I developed a bit of a thing about Patrick Swayze, which is why I had all those pictures to send you of him with horses to hand. I do remember watching Dirty Dancing for the first time and actually quite enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good.
Because it's not one of the sort of films that I should like.
It's fucking good, man. And the music is right up your street.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And it's just because when I was young, I used to watch 2 things every single day. Well, there was 3 things really that I tended to circulate. There was He-Man Masters of the Universe, Dolph Lundgren.
I've never made it through all of that.
Oh, you're fucking missing out. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that when I was young. I've been talking when I was like, it was when we lived in Undergreens Road, and we moved out of Undergreens Road, I think when I was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So it was between the ages of 5 and 8, like that. I was obsessed. And it was He-Man.
Let's say 6.5.
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah. In fairness, yeah. Yeah, to be fair to all the other years, good years they were. And the other one was Stingray. If you remember Stingray.
What, the program?
It was like Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved
Stingray. Stingray.
Yeah, that was quality. Watch that. And the third one was Dirty Dancing.
Right, okay.
And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what part of Dirty Dancing just appealed to like the 6.5-year-old me. But I just fucking loved it. And it's been a long time since I've watched it because I saw it so many times as a kid.
Yeah.
I actually, when I watched it the other night, it was almost like the first time I watched it because I haven't seen it for
Ross,
20 years.
Did you have the time of your life?
Oh, I've never felt that way before. It's the truth. And I owe it all to you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Funnily enough, Siri just kicked in then, and I said Swayze.
But no, it's not the sort of film I should like. But when I watch it, I do think it is all right.
It's fucking great.
I think unfortunately, bless him, Swayze's acting's not great. It's a bit wooden. But those hips don't lie.
Well, apparently it was really tough to film, wasn't it? Because I don't believe Jennifer Grey and Swayze were hitting it off.
No, he thought she wasn't taking it seriously, and all those, but those bits where he goes like that down her arm and she giggles.
Yeah.
Oh, we all laugh at that bit, don't we? He was really frustrated with her. That apparently that was real. He was trying to do it properly, and she kept giggling, and he found her frustrating. I bet she was a nightmare.
Yeah, but they were both very hot.
Yeah.
Like even Swayze, I'm thinking, Christ alive, he's an absolute, sheer perfection, nothing short of.
Smoked himself to death, unfortunately.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah, but I think as well, going back to the feelings of familiarity and being able to relate to something.
You remember when Patrick Swayze took your virginity?
I'm trying to keep this light and conversational.
Go on then.
You're talking about fucking the swaz.
It's like a brute. It was like a brute.
That is big game hunting. That. I went. The idea of, because when I was younger, we did the abroad stuff.
Yeah.
For my family. And then our mum and dad, we got they got this big sort of 8-man tent, and we went on a lot of holidays that were obviously in the UK, and we would just go to campsites. And I mean, to be honest, this goes for whether you're abroad or in a campsite. You go, and I always used to meet you get a girlfriend when you go on holiday, and you're about fucking 7 years old, and you meet a girl at kids club.
And it would always be like the Thursday, and you were going on the Saturday. So you had a girlfriend for a day.
Oh no, I'm talking solid. Like I'd have one for a week and a second one for the next week. I'd have a backup ready, Simon.
You'd have stood at the entrance waiting for the coaches to come in.
Yeah. Oh, you're going back to Sheffield? Oh, it's all right. I believe there's another load coming in from Derby. So Wigan? Oh, I doubt there'll be much going on there.
You realise it's pensioners' week.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't picky. So you know, that idea of going away and finding somebody, and especially when you're young as well, it's like, you love all of them. I actually remember there was one particular holiday we went on. It was to Alcudia.
Bless you.
And I was sort of friendly with this girl. She was called Beatrice. It'd be funny if you were listening to the podcast one. And I met her at Kids Club. And, you know, to be honest, the most impressive thing of it all is I managed to actually secure a date, if you want to call it that, the 8-year-old version of a date around the swimming pool the following afternoon with both families.
Right.
And I managed to secure that wearing short and T-shirt Toy Story pajamas. Now, I definitely couldn't pull that off now, I reckon.
I bet you could.
I'd actually, sort of in the walk. Sort of, yeah. But, and then I remember I didn't actually know when she was going, and I went to the arcade, and I was obsessed with playing games to win enough tickets to buy her a ring.
Right.
Which I think had an apple on it.
All the best ones do.
And then I went to give her it, and I went to the room, and they'd gone.
Oh.
And I was absolutely devastated. And then I was like, oh, fucking hell. So I went back to the arcade and started playing. And by the end of the day, I'd met another girl and gave her the ring. A lucky lady.
Stars in your eyes, little Ross. Where do you go to dream? To a place we all know, the land of Ross's dreams.
So this one I'd written on the 29th of July, 2014.
Right, okay. So how old would you be there?
Well, it was 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 25.
Right, okay.
Have you seen the Dream Journal? Do you know what it looks like?
Well, it's got Dream Journal written on the front, so it's good. Oh, right. Oh, so it encourages you to write sketches and things?
Yeah, so you get to reflect on prevailing emotions, draw any pictures. And everyone's different. Like, there's certain ones where I have... That's, if you remember, I told you about a dream where I looked through the toilet wall and saw a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, and you was that where your mate was stuck on the wall with beans?
Yeah, no, that was a different one.
Oh, right.
You can see there, that's me pointing.
Oh, right. I thought you were giving the post-apocalyptic world the finger.
These are all urinals.
Is the eyes in the urinals?
No, that's where you piss.
Oh, right.
And then this is a hole in the wall.
Right. And
then this is the post-apocalyptic world afterwards. I mean, it's nothing short of a fucking masterpiece. Look how long my finger is.
Well, like E.T.
And the urinals have all got fringes, middle partings.
Yeah, I thought they were noses at first.
Yeah, I don't often. I don't think I did many. So, do you remember the one I told you about the in being in the high security prison?
No.
And everyone was trying to grab my balls. Yeah, I think
No.
I thought. Yeah,
No.
I talked about this one on the Lewis episode.
Right.
Because it's the one where I left and ran my hands along like a red phone box on the way out of this prison.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I came out of this prison and there was this beautiful garden. So I've drawn a picture of the beautiful garden. And then in case there was any doubt about what that was, I've written beautiful garden with an arrow pointing to it. And then if you can see where it says prevailing emotions, I've ticked crap, and then in brackets underneath it written proper.
So is this all at 3:00 in the morning when you don't really know what you're doing?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. This is one. This isn't the one I was going to read because it's really short, but I'll read it just to show you the picture. This one, I must have been on a bit of a. I was recording quite regularly, clearly at this stage, because this was on the 22nd of July 2014. So this was a week before the one I'm going to read. The difficult thing is, I name a lot of people.
Right. Okay.
And obviously the names don't mean shit
No.
to anyone. So I guess I'll just refer to them as like the person. I won't refer to them by name, but it was a girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And the dream is called McDonald's Apocalypse.
Okay.
And it's only a few lines. It says, me and this girl went into McDonald's for dinner. They fucked my order up. She was really embarrassed. Everyone began to panic as hailstone the size of bricks came smashing through the windows, started smashing through the windows and breaking all the tables and chairs. And my picture, that's the picture.
Splat. Splat.
And it's like an old person with a keyboard. And there's two people at the table. One's clearly me, and it just says, wrong order. So this was on the 20. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, I'm making a conscious effort to be closer to the microphone this time round because I always feel like no matter who's on, I'm always the quietest.
It's because you lie back in the corner.
Because I'm fucking chilling like this.
Well, you can see the pictures of each podcast that we do. You're generally in the background like that. I have to zoom in on you quite a bit.
Right, I'm probably gonna have to just say the names here because there's too many references to not. But
just give the initials.
I'll give you I will say the names, but I'll just say the first names and I'll give you a bit of backstory. There's somebody called Glenn,
right,
who was my sister's boyfriend.
Right.
There's somebody called Og, who's a friend of mine. And there's somebody called Richie, who's another friend of mine.
Right.
Okay. And I think that might be, it's 2-pager. That might be it. Okay. So this one's called The Fire.
Okay.
And it's a bit of an epic. It's a bit mental.
Is it your Homer's Odyssey or whatever it is?
Yeah. This is my Iliad. This is mental, this one. I haven't actually read it all through, so there's bits that I've got no idea what's about to go on. I just know it. I just remember it being vaguely epic. Right. I'm with Glenn in a flat near Church Street. Church Street is a street in Barrow where two of my other friends live.
Right.
With Glenn in a flat near Church Street, watching a film where the viewer chooses the outcome.
Right.
We go outside repeatedly to smoke joints when Glenn was set upon by homeless folk. I'm not even going to. There's certain sentences here where I'm purposely not going to elaborate because I can't elaborate. So Glenn was set upon by homeless folk. That's how I've worded it. I intervened as a man rode past on a dog camel.
Naturally.
Just 4 lines in.
Right, so
I've literally written dog-camel.
So was that a dog the size of a camel or a camel the size of a dog?
I don't fucking know.
It's your dream.
It was a long time ago. I intervened as a man rode past on a dog camel. Have you never seen a dog camel?
No.
Right, I'll continue.
I think you need to say dog camel again just so it becomes normal.
I intervened as a man rode past on a dog camel.
No. Right, carry on.
Knocking the hobo down, screaming sirens could be heard as police swarmed the area.
Right.
Thinking that they were arresting me, I began to run when they stopped me and told me about a fire spreading from Blackpool.
From Blackpool?
From Blackpool.
To Barrow?
Yeah.
Right.
Toxic gases filled the air as thousands of people run down Dalton Road. Dalton Road is the main sort of town high street through Barrow. Glenn is behind me at this point, running along. I pick up a young boy crying on his own. And then in brackets I've written, maybe fictional brother of Glenn. Close brackets. And run with him. So have you got the scene in your mind? I'm sprinting down the high street.
Yeah. I love the fact that even within the dream, you're aware that this fictional brother probably doesn't exist.
It's almost semi-lucid.
Yeah.
I lose Glenn and see Og and Richie walking past the Duke. The Duke is the Duke of Ed. It's a pub.
Right.
At the bottom of Dalton Road.
Right.
They tell me they are hiding out in the Robin Hood, another pub.
Yeah.
I leave them and run into a pretty girl named Victoria. She is carrying 2 children and passes a little girl to me. We resume running. I lose the boy, so I've got 2 kids at this point in my arm.
Right, okay. One under each arm.
Yeah.
Right.
I lose the boy and begin running up and down the crowds swarming Abbey Road, which is the main road at the bottom of Dalton Road.
Right. Okay.
I'm also giving you a sort of semi-tour of Barrow.
Yeah.
I lose the boy and begin running up and down the crowds swarming Abbey Road, calling out their names to no avail. Still with the little girl, I run into my mum and she drags me into a church on Park Avenue, further up Abbey Road.
Okay.
Inside the church, people are crying, but also singing hymns with a hip-hop feel-good tune to them.
I don't think I quite heard that last line. Are you all right to say that one again for us, please?
Where would you like me to go from? From the top?
Inside the church, the people are crying but singing hymns.
Inside, people are crying and singing hymns with a hip-hop feel-good tune to them. Tone, not tune, tone. With a hip-hop feel-good tone to them.
Yeah, that's much better, yeah.
Right, continue. At this juncture, some time passes and I am on a helicopter with someone who looks like... Fucking hell, this is madness. Some time passes. I am on a helicopter with someone who looks like Ron Pearlman. And we are flying over a fire-destroyed Vietnam in an attempt to scavenge supplies for back home. So right. I guess at this case, like, Barrow's sort of been swapped out for Vietnam.
Yeah.
Which is a common mistake.
Very often happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where it all goes a little bit fucking mental.
Oh, at this point, yeah.
Well, right. Yeah, this does go mental now. So we're flying over a fire-destroyed Vietnam in an attempt to scavenge supplies for back home. Beneath us are giant, glowing, rampaging gorillas destroying buildings. We land. We find stacks of frozen meals and bread. Oh, God. So we land, we find stacks of frozen meals and bread. Stopping briefly, we discuss our preferences between white and brown.
As you do. In a fiery, gorilla-ridden apocalypse, that's the first thing you talk about, isn't it?
Me and Ron. So we discuss the differences between white and brown, then we begin filling the chopper up.
Right, yeah. Naturally, yeah. Wait for that 20-minute conversation to finish.
Pearlman hears something and looks up. At this point, I wake. My prevailing emotions were, well, I classed the dream as fantasy and just plain bizarre.
Yeah, I would.
My prevailing emotions were fear, frustration, grief, surprise, confusion, vulnerability, anger, and panic. And it says, "Have you ever dreamed this before?" And I've ticked no, obviously. So there you go. That's that'll get broken up into 2 episodes. Inside the church, people are crying, but also singing hymns with a hip hop feel good tune to them. People are crying. Hip hop feel good tune to them. Hip hop feel good tune to them. Hip hop feel good tune to them. Hip hop feel good. Hip hop feel good. Hip hop feel good. Hip hop hip hop hip hop hip hop hip hop hip hop feel good tune to them. People are crying. Hip hop feel good tune to them. 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 People are crying. Feel good tune to them. Hip hop feel good tune to them. People are crying. People are crying. You've obviously got some gold in there. So for those listening, I actually bought Simon a dream journal of his own so he can experience this. And I know full well you'll have written in it.
Well, they're very, very short, but it's just the. It
doesn't matter. Tell me 3 of them.
No, well, you've got 2. So for some reason, so this was last Tuesday night, I think it was. I had a dream that Emily was still at school, and
I thought you were supposed to be reading this out to me from the journal.
I know this one.
Oh, Simon, you're misunderstanding the platform.
I know this one. I can tell you. This is exactly as it is written down. I was picking up Emily from school, even though she's not been at school for a long time. and someone kidnapped me as I was waiting for her to come out. And all they wanted me to do was to get me to say something. And they didn't tell me what it was that they wanted me to say. And I was refusing to say it.
Without even knowing what it was?
Without even knowing what it was.
Okay, now hear him outside. Daughter's been kidnapped.
And all they wanted me to do was say whatever it was.
Did you take the whole I don't negotiate with terrorists?
Yeah, a hard stance from the offset.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying to them, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. The next I knew, I was sat up in bed in real life, and I shouted out, I'm not going to say that.
Really?
Yeah. And I looked, because our mirror is opposite us in bed, and I watched myself say it out loud.
You look at yourself in the mirror and go, I'm not going to say that.
The night after, bear in mind that I don't talk in my sleep, and I never have talked in my sleep. We decided to go to bed. I think it's about 11:30 sort of thing. And I sort of drifted off about 10 to 12. So I drifted off. In this dream, Charlotte had gone downstairs, found the dog dead, and was shouting up to me. She was just saying, "Sigh, sigh, sigh," which she never refers to me as Sigh. She only ever refers to me as Simon or that cunt. So, she never refers to me as Sigh. In real life, I sat up again and just shouted, "Yeah!" That woke Charlotte up. And then giggled for about 40 minutes.
Do you think this is to do with the amount that we've been discussing dreams?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never spoken. I've never talked in my sleep. I've never spoken, and I've did it twice in 2 days.
Yeah, I think it's just because you're thinking about it more.
Maybe.
And you're also thinking about writing shit down and recording it and delivering it on air.
It's content for the podcast.
Yeah. Content! Sorry.
No, that was Thursday night. But no, so weird. And the thing is, Charlotte was so pissed off with me because it takes her ages to get off to sleep.
Yeah.
And she just got to sleep. I looked at the clock. I'd only been asleep for about 3 minutes.
That's when it's more likely to.
Yeah.
That idea of sort of, it's more because when you're in a deep sleep or like REM type state, you're less likely to sort of wake up suddenly. But it's when, like, for me, sleep paralysis, it doesn't occur in the middle of the night. No. It occurs minutes after I've dropped off, and you start going, I came home from, I had band practice for the first time on Tuesday. Yeah. And I got home at about 11ish. And, I don't like to go straight to bed because I've got tunes running through my head. And, I just like to chill and have a brew and that. So I was in the kitchen. It was about midnight when I went to bed. And Fatima was already in bed by the time I got home. So I went upstairs and I went into the bedroom and I opened the door and she was fast asleep. But when I came in the room, she went, and she sat up super quick. And I went, it's all right, it's just me. And she went, bear in mind, this all happened in like a 2-second. How quickly she reacted to this. I was giggling for fucking ages. I had to go into another room because I was. She went, I came in, she went, and I went, it's all right, it's just me. She went, all right, bang. She went, all right, bang. Like literally just fell back in. Out, totally out. All right, bosh. I told her about the following. She shouldn't believe me. She thinks I make this shit up.
But then obviously I'm sort of thinking, is this what I do now forever?
This is you now, Simon.
Yeah, but no.
Trust me, this is you. The more we talk about it, the more you think about it, the more it'll happen. I'm talking from experience here. Welcome, Simon.
Fucking hell, it was so good.
It's a great play.
At 12:10, when you're giggling at yourself, then no, it's not a great place. But no, I know.
One thing I do that I just there's some nights where I'm so gaseous in the night.
Cue the song. Gaseous, 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 gaseous. Oh, gaseous.
Come on and rock me, Gaseous.
Gaseous, 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 gaseous. Oh, gaseous.
You got to reuse that fucker, won't you?
That 2 hours I spent making that jingle just proved itself again. Excellent.
Oh.
Well,
It's
oh no. Do you remember when you went through that stage of recording yourself at night?
Yeah.
And you just
all I got was an archive of farts.
There's the podcast title. And our first book title as well.
I've been finding
Simon and Ross podcast Archive of Farts Volume 1.
It was, you listen, I wonder what I did last night, and all it is.
Well, didn't you say it's because you have to force your farts out?
Yeah, well, my problem is I've got a very tight sphincter. It's always been my issue. and it means that I can't just, like most people can just fart and it just slips out nice and, quiet as you like. Whereas I can't. I won't fart unless it gets to a certain point and I've got to push it.
Oh dear! Oh fucking hell! I thought I was gonna die then.
I was gonna say you might need to shout Charlotte.
Oh dear! Oh. Right, back in the room.
And what it means is that in the night I'll wake up because my body's like, you need to get this out. But it's like a double barrel shotgun. Bang! Fatima even said the other night, she said, I thought because of how it reverberated around the room, she thought I was in another room.
Was that you doing it then? Reverberate.
She thought I'd actually gone into another room to do it. She was like, I didn't even think you were in the room. I thought that what I was listening to was just the echo, but it was just so. But it's like, it scares her. The amount of times I've farted at night, and she's gone, fucking hell. and I'm laughing my head off because I've woken up and my body's gone, you need to get this out if you stand any chance of going back to sleep, right? Push it. It's just so powerful. It's like Thanos clicking his finger. I think if I didn't know any better, I'd say there was an infinity stone in my sphincter.
One of the gaseous ones.
I mean, how long would it take for Thanos to realize it's in someone's asshole?
Probably a while, to be fair. He's not the brightest, is he?
Oh, where is it? Fucking hell.
I can smell it.
Where the hell's this last stone? He has to have a sleepover with me, and one night it just hits the wall. I'm not even too sure what bit you're laughing at.
I'm not sure anymore. It's all merged into one. Oh, it's the Gaseous raised its ugly head again, and then the incredibly tight sphincter.
It is. The thing is, it's a legitimate problem. I have a very tight sphincter.
That's not fair.
Right.
Because they can't see your fingers while you're doing that. Very tight sphincter.
my action of describing a tight sphincter is the same as Francesco describing a nice pasta dish. But it actually means that you wake up in the night and it quite often with like quite uncomfortable because you get. I remember when I went on a date with this girl and I went to a house. No, I think it was a second date or something, and she invited me around her house and she was cooking. And she cooked up like, really gaseous vegetables, and it was like chickpeas and sprouts and, all the really sort of, Trumpton type. It was, what was it? Barney McGrew.
Yeah, it's Hugh Grew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble Grub.
Yeah, it was all them on a plate. It was a Trumpton dish. And I remember, like, obviously you don't just, you're not, you don't feel comfortable enough to just fart. And I was having this big gaseous build-up all the evening, and we were sat there. And she lived in a flat, so a fucking toilet was right next to the living room, and so I couldn't even go and get it out. Because if I go in there, and it's gonna be like a minigun going off. It's pop, 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 pop. That's what it's gonna be like. So I kept it in, and I was in fucking agony all night.
It's coming out your ears and everything.
I was in absolute agony. I was just like blowing up, like Augustus Gloop. And so what happens is I wake up in the night and my stomach will be sore because my sphincter just clings onto stuff. But
you're wasting all these titles on one podcast, Ross. This could see us through.
So you just got to push.
I remember you got that app where it records you during the night of any, because you were doing it to see if you talked in your sleep, weren't you, or something?
I was trying to catch my sleep paralysis sounds.
Yeah. And all it did was like 50 minutes of farts. So... yeah, listen to this one.
Look, and you think, bloody hell, I must have been talking loads. There's all sorts here. And it was just a fart archive. The thing is, I know that there would have been a lot in there of me talking, but I think it only records like the first like 3 instances of noise in the night, and then you got to pay for the if you want to. So all I had was 3 farts per evening.
I think I'd have bought you the app. Would have been worth it. It would have filled 20 minutes on the podcast.
Maybe I will just like pay for like a month of it or something. It's only like £3. I don't know.
Yeah, you send it to me as a WAV file, and I'll put some hip hop feel good beat over it.
It's all how you perceive value, isn't it? Because to me, like
14 nights of farts is worth £3.
Well, yeah, it's like £3. It's like I'd go into a shop and get a bottle of Pepsi and a Snickers, then come close. Yet I'm not willing to drop £3 on an app that's gonna record me farts. But I'm not kidding you. So it's fucking ludicrously loud at points. I'm half worried I'd blow me speakers in me. I might have to get a subwoofer installed to handle it.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's funny though, because sometimes I'll do it, and obviously you're half asleep, so it's like, you know, whatever. Like, you don't like fucking wake up and be like, "Whoa, let's talk about that." Like, it happens all the time, so it's like whatever. But sometimes it happens, and I'll just hear Fatima and go, "Fuck's sake." Fuck's sake. If she's awake, she'll go, "Jesus."
But are you like that during the day as well?
No, we were actually talking about this yesterday. Actually, is you know,
You're all right with all this going out, aren't you?
hey,
You're all right with all this going out, aren't you?
yeah, fuck it, something paid.
That's the...
This is what you guys are paying for. You're literally funding me to record my facts. We were talking about this yesterday because I'm like, you know, I'll sit here all day working. I'm not particularly gaseous.
He says whilst belching into the microphone.
No, I'm drinking beers, man. You know, I'm not. It's we'll eat. You know what I think a lot of it's got to do with is I'm pretty much a vegetarian because of Fatima. So I like, you know, 5 or 6 nights a week we eat vegetarian.
Yeah.
And then once a week, usually it's not even that, it's once every 2 weeks we'll get a takeaway.
Yeah.
And then I'll get some meat on something. Or I might treat myself to a steak midweek, but rarely. 9 times out of 10 we eat vegetarian.
Medium rarely.
And I think it's to do with like just the sheer amount of vegetables. Like maybe it does something to me, because it's like, you know, yeah, like I say, very gaseous vegetables, and I think it must have some it must have some impact. Because I won't be farting at all, and then we'll be sat watching telly. An hour or so later, bang, bang. Bang. And I'm thinking, why is this? Like, what's the explanation? It's all to do with what you eat. It has to be. And the only thing I've eaten is gaseous veg.
Sorry, carry on. Oh, should we call it that?
I think we can, yeah. I think you're running the risk of cracking a rib here.
Oh, tell you what, I don't need to do my abs tomorrow. Oh. Gaseous, 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 gaseous. Oh, gaseous.
Gaseous vegetables.
Gaseous, 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 gaseous. Oh, gaseous.
Gaseous vegetables.
Gaseous, 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 gaseous. Oh, gaseous.
Gaseous vegetables.
Gaseous, 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 gaseous.
Stars in your eyes, little Lewis. Where do you go to dream? To a place we all know, the land of Lewis's dreams.
Can you remember any weird dreams that you've had, either recently or in the past?
Fucking hell, you give me 4 minutes notice.
Well, no, it's 0 minutes notice. I need it now.
I
must
have.
be able to think of something.
No, fucking hell. I have all my dreams are running away from stuff, though. That's like, I know there's some big, deep subliminal thing going on there, but it's every time I have a dream, it's literally, I'm running away from the police, I'm running away from somebody trying to chase me. And I do actually get away, which is the difference between most of other people's running away dreams. but yeah, and it's not just me and my own, it could be friends, it could be family that I'm running away with.
Yeah.
Either that or a lot of, I seem to dream that I can jump like fucking Hulk. Am I allowed to swear? Am I not allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I have a lot of dream that I
Hulk,
can like...
Hulk isn't a swear word. I don't think Marvel or Sue was just saying it once.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of either running and jumping, parkour style stuff, and then suddenly a 2.5 mile jump.
Right. Okay. A bit like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's two Marvel people. We'll get in trouble now.
Okay. Yeah. I did have one where I worked in a car garage. And halfway through the shift, it suddenly turned into the purge. Like at that one time, whilst I was at work, so we all had to evacuate out of the back of the car garage. But Jips was with me,
Right.
at work, so we all kind of then had to jump in a car and try and, like them zombie games where you run people over and just jump. Well, that was happening, but I can't really remember any more to tail that off to give you a proper ending to that. But that's kind of, again, it's always running away of some sort.
So there must be, like you said, there must be some explanation for that.
Let me have a
No, I'm looking.
deeply unhappy.
Dream explanation. Running away. Running away in dreams is associated with running away from a situation in waking life. It's important to recognize what you're running away from in this dream state. It may be that you need to remove yourself from a situation. This could be a relationship or an alternative family conflict.
This is turned into counselling. But that's it though, because I kind of get that. I kind of understand that that's the reason behind it, but there's absolutely nothing.
You'll admit is wrong.
Yeah, no, but even the times when I know when I think I'm comfortable, whatever. And even then, you just don't know. I still have the dreams, still running away from something, even though I'm as happy as ever.
I used to have a dream for years that I was falling and I was falling, and then just as you hit, just about to hit the ground, I'd wake up in a start, and I'd have all sorts. I'd just be walking along the street and I'd step off a curb and then I'd be falling for miles and miles and miles, and I don't know if it was something to do with heights or something like that.
You scared of heights?
I didn't think I was, and then I Abseiling. Remember when I went? Not abseiling and climbing. Do you remember when I showed you the pictures going around that place in Wales?
Yes.
And I think I was always paranoid of being attached to something and falling off. So obviously abseiling is exactly that, isn't it? And then we did this abseil thing, and I had one instance where I slipped, and I thought, oh, that's it. And the rope just caught me, and I thought, well, as long as the rope's connected to something, and I've never ever had that dream since. It just completely stopped. So deep down inside me, I must have been scared of heights in some way, and that forced me to get over it. Really odd.
You've just reminded me, I used to have a recurring dream, and for 3 years on the bounce when I was younger, it happened on exactly the same day, on the year, on the annual. And it was my mum's friend's old house. I was always in there. I don't know whether it's because I probably spent a bit of time there while she was there. I don't know where we were. But it was always running away from the pirate thing. And I'll always remember it. Typical, like the old school cartoon animated pirate films, and his massive square shoulders with a tiny parrot on his thing. He's got a wooden leg and all this. And I always used to run. It was a terraced house, so the stairs kind of went
right. Okay, yeah.
The back on themselves, and I remember getting to the second to top step, the same floor, and every single time I had that dream, and I remember looking down, and he would just dunk 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 with a wooden leg just coming up the stairs towards me, and I always woke up before he got to me.
Right.
It happened. It was May the 27th. Work that out. I haven't had it for probably 10 years or so now, but yeah. It was.
So are you scared of Johnny Depp? Is that what it is?
There's one more short one that might be worth tagging on to this, and it's an older one. It was in 2014.
Okay.
And I've called it. It's called Prison.
Okay.
And it's more the word. It's more the way I've worded part of this that made me laugh. And this might be. Will it be before I knew any of you? I'm not sure. 2014, 6 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been
before the suit and the beanie hat.
And it says, I am to spend a month in a high security prison that offers lectures almost like a very low ranking university. I am terrified as there are some proper ruffians about, and everyone is constantly trying to grab my balls. I'm trying to find a classroom where I am going to take a class in American history when I come across a huge garden. It looks like something in the Lake District. It has waterfalls and spectacular vistas. Walking through the gardens, I see a barrier that has been left open. I run away from the prison. And the last sentence is really confusing. It says, I see a barrier that has been left open. I run away from the prison. And the last sentence says, running my hands along a red phone box on the way out.
Did you have daffodils around your hair?
That's almost like a shot in a film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a hand brushing against the red phone box. Like, it's really weird. I thought of that last sentence for me. I was like, what the fuck was that about? But yeah, there you go.
Well, I was going to say this for the dreams episode, but I will tell you one of my dreams. I've already read this to Lewis. So here's the second of my 3 dreams that I've written down. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. I'm sat on the toilet and it's not painful, but it's uncomfortable. It feels like I'm passing a rope. When I'm done, the bowl is full of lots and lots of worm-like shits that are moving but are not alive. That's it.
And he woke up to shit all over the bed.
Worm-like shits.
You woke up and Charlotte's gone to her mum's and you're covered in your own shit.
Again. Right. Well,
did you say passing the rope?
Yeah, passing. You know when you have such a big poo, it feels like it's come from almost your chest. No, just me. Hello, is this thing on? Hello.
You mean when it touches the bottom of the toilet before it breaks?
You need to pinch it off so you can have a different channel.
Reverberated.